I'm going to show you a video in a moment, but before I do, I want to reiterate a few things about me. I'm an atheist. I'm an agnostic atheist, I think, technically, because I can't prove that there is no God, but I'm pretty sure there isn't one. I don't believe in a God or a devil. I don't believe in a heaven or a hell. I don't believe in an eternal afterlife, and I don't believe in a soul. Having said that, I have no problem if you're a believer. My wife is a believer. All three of the children we had together are baptized. My now deceased father is the godfather to all three of our children together. I did all of the religious ceremony stuff, went through all of that, had the kids baptized because it meant something to my wife. So if you believing in a God makes you a better person, I'm all for it. If you devoting your life to Jesus Christ makes you a better person, awesome, fantastic. If you want to read the Bible every day, have at it. If it makes you be a better person, so be it. Where I begin to have a problem is when your religion begins to affect everybody else's life. You believe in something, so therefore you want legislation based on your beliefs that affects the rest of everybody's life, right? That's where I begin to have a problem. As long as it's just helping you be a better person, pray 1,000 times a day. Go to church every Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't give a shit. It's your life. Do it. The video I'm about ready to show you is where I have a problem when religious belief crosses over into legislation. This is a video of a Republican in Minnesota explaining how she doesn't care about climate change because she's read the Bible and she knows how it ends, and it isn't with climate change. Watch this.
What doesn't change, my friends, and that's why when we talk about climate change, I don't get upset about it, I don't get worked up about it, is because my faith is not in climate change. It's not in scientists dictating what we should and should not do to save the environment, because my faith is in Jesus Christ, right? He's the same today, tomorrow, and forever. Yesterday. And so, if you've read the good book, you know how it ends. It's not with climate change. And that's my closing speech.
And that's where I begin to have a problem. When you begin to legislate based on your religious beliefs. When you say, this doesn't matter because it's not in my Bible, but what you're going to legislate affects everybody, whether they read your Bible or not, that's where I have a problem. But that's fine. You want to legislate based on the good book, then you shouldn't be in the legislature. I mean, according to the Bible, you women should be subservient to men. No? From the transformedwife.com, women are not permitted by God to hold political office and rule over men in the political sphere. The scriptural revelation of the creation of man and woman and the scriptural commentary on their creation establishes the headship of the man over the woman. The text of Genesis 2:7 and 2:18 through 24 teaches us that man was made first, and then the woman was made to be man's helper and companion. The Bible instructs us that this order of creation was by God's design, and that it establishes the positional priority of the man over the woman in regards to authority and leadership. Paul states the divinely ordained order of authority and headship by stating, "But I would have you to know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the Christ is God." Therefore, the Apostle Paul teaches that God has decreed that the order of authority be as follows: God, Christ, man, woman. Each one in this chain of command is under the headship or authority of the one preceding him or her. Later in this same text, Paul, as in 1 Timothy 2, calls upon the order of creation to show man's headship over the woman. This article goes on to say, we could then say that there are three quote-unquote governments in the world: family government, church government, and state government. In each of these governments, God has commanded that men bear rule. The man has headship in the family, the church, and also by implication and command in the state as well. So I'll tell you what, we'll start considering what the good book says in regard to passing legislation as soon as you give up your seat. You vacate your seat and go back home, where the good book says you should be. Until then, No, we don't give a shit what your Bible says.